Hey, what's up, guys? Thenobleflame here, bringing you guys another Black and White 2 OU battle. This one's on Pokemon Showdown, just because it was I was at school and I was just really bored and just thought I'd played some Pokemon Showdown, so I made a quick team. Yeah, so let me just go over the team really quick. We got a specially defensive Tyranitar, and I know if I'm being quiet, it's just because my parents are sleeping upstairs and I don't want to, wake them up, but. Yeah, so especially defensive Tyranitar, physically defensive Jellicent with Will-O-Wisp, Toxic, Shadow Ball, and Recover. A Choice Banded Breloom, Air Balloon, Heatran, Expert Belt, Latios, and a Choice Scarf Garchomp because I kind of forgot that Garchomp was in OU, to be honest. I'm pretty, rusty when it comes to the metagame, so I don't really know what people are running nowadays. I haven't played in quite a long time, but this is just a warning. This is actually a really long game. This is like 59 turns, just because that right there, that is the main reason. That fucking Chansey is the main reason why this game's so long, but that's okay. We'll manage. So I laid out with my Tyranitar. He's gonna lead out with his Landorus Therian form, and I made the switch out to I think Jellicent, just because I didn't really want to get Earthquake turn 1, so I just made the safe play, or U-turn turn 1, which it probably would have been. So switching to Jellicent just to take the U-turn, and I didn't expect him to stay in here, just because I thought that maybe he wouldn't want to take a Shadow Ball. But he ends up just setting up a light screen, and I probably should have seen that coming, so I went for the burn expecting the Ferrothorn to come in. So now I just Shadow Ball just to see how much it does, and it does literally nothing with the light screen on, so that's pretty cool. And now he switches out, and he goes into his Magnezone, and I switch out, and I go into my Tyranitar. And I predicted the switch because I figured that he would figure that I would go for the Shadow Ball, so I wanted to go on my T-Type because I do carry the Fire Blast. So that's what I end up going for. He ends up Volt turning out into his Tentacruel. So yeah, so this turn I switch out. I go into my Breloom, expecting the status or something, hoping to get a free switch in, and go for the Bullet turn, Bullet Seed the next turn. But he ends up going for the Protect, just scouting out what I'm gonna do, scouting out what kind of Breloom I am. Yeah, I don't get to hit something with the Bullet Seed, and now the toxic damage is kind of starting to rack up, so I want to switch out and go into my Heatran, predicting the Ferrothorn to come out because I did go for the Bullet Seed, but he ends up going into his Chansey, which I found really weird because Chansey isn't very, well, I guess it does have the Eviolite, so it wouldn't do too much, but it's a choice banded Bullet Seed from Breloom, which I probably wouldn't have sent the Chansey out just in case, crits and whatnot. So next I try to go for the Shadow Ball, expecting the Espeon to come out, but that doesn't happen. And now I go for the Toxic to get some damage on this Chansey, but he ends up switching out into his Espeon, predicting the Toxic or the Burn spell, if you will, and also to set up his Light Screen. So now, knowing that he's going to set up his Light Screen or Reflector, whatever he wants to do, I'm going to go for the Recover just to get my HP back and keep my Jellicent pretty healthy because I do need it for the Landorus. And yeah, so now I switch out into my Tyranitar, knowing that he's going to set up the Reflect, and I decided just to go for the Stealth Max here, forgetting that, I go for the Crunch, I wanted to see if he wanted to stay in, but obviously he doesn't, and the Ferrothorn switch was pretty obvious. I probably should have saw that coming. Again, I'm pretty rusty. So now he stays in, so I go for the Fire Blast. He sets up his Spikes, and obviously he's going to stay in because Fire Blast isn't going to do too much with the light screen up. And this switch was also pretty obvious, but I probably, again, I should have saw it coming, but I didn't. So yeah, so now I go for the Stealth Max to set them up, forgetting that Tentacruels do carry Rapid Spin, which was pretty stupid, but whatever. It doesn't really matter. Next, I go into my Breloom, not really expecting anything, expecting, I don't know, him to Protect, I think. I had this battle a while ago, I don't really remember every move that I made, but I switch into my Breloom, just now I go for the Stone Edge just to try and get some damage on it, but he does go for the Protect, and Toxic damage is racking up, so I do want to switch out, and I was expecting him to go into either Landorus or Ferrothorn, so I switch into my Tyranitar, or not Landorus, but I was expecting him to go into Ferrothorn, so I switch into my Tyranitar, hoping to get some damage onto the Ferrothorn with my Fire Blast, but he ends up going into his Espeon, and he sets up with a Reflect, and my Crunch still does over half, so it's still 2-hit KO even with the Reflect up, and this was a really obvious switch in too, so probably should have went for the Fire Blast there and protected the Ferrothorn switch in, but what can you do? So next I'm going to switch out, and I'm going to go into my Breloom just to fodder it off, because I don't really know what he's going to do, if he wants to set up spikes or something. Yeah, I was actually hoping that I would be able to live it, but I guess I couldn't. Next I go into my Jellicent against this Chansey because they pretty much wall each other. So I just wanted to get a Toxic on just to get some extra damage on this thing in case yeah. I just like, this is the only way I can pretty much deal a lot of damage to it if it decides to stay in and Protect stall me and Protect Wish stall me. So next he switches into his Ferrothorn and gets the Wish when I recover, which is pretty shitty because a Ferrothorn at full HP is pretty annoying, but I go into my Heatran expecting the Leech Seed, and which he does, and now I pull the double switch into, oh no, I don't pull it, that's later. Anyway, I just, in case you stayed in and wanted to set up another layer of spikes, I went for the Fire Blast, and yeah, now I'm going to switch out and go into my Latios, and I try to like kill it with Psyshock, just because I want, like, I wasn't sure how much I was going to do, but like I really didn't have a way to deal with this thing. Like Breloom was my only option with Mach Punch or, you know, Low Sweep. So I really lost my only way to deal with this Chansey. So I was really just trying to like grind it out with it. And now he's going to switch into his Espeon on my Psyshock, but it ends up actually killing it, just because Espeon's defense isn't really that great. So even with the resistance, it still does a lot of damage. So he switches back into his Chansey, and I go for the Psyshock, and it does like a quarter of his health, which was pretty shitty, because now he's gonna just Wish Protect me, and he's gonna get back up over half, I believe. And yeah, I'm just gonna speed up this part real quick, just because it is pretty grindy. And now I switch into my Garchomp, expecting to Protect, and actually this, yeah. So I switch into my Garchomp as he switches into his Tentacruel, and I go for the Earthquake just because, why not? You know, it's always good to make the safe play sometimes, and he ends up staying in, and this was a really bad play for me. I'm just gonna slow it down just a little bit, because, actually I'm gonna pause right here just to explain why this was a bad play. I stay in, and I go for the Earthquake on his Magnezone, which is bad because Magnezones do tend to carry HP Ice sometimes, so he could have lived with the Sturdy and then HP Iced and killed my Garchomp, and then I would have basically 0 ways to deal with the Chansey, even less, like, basically Garchomp being a physical attacker is like the only way I can kill Chansey at the moment. Yeah, so that was really stupid, but it turns out that he does go for the Substitute instead of the HP Ice, so I don't know if he just didn't realize that I was Choice Scarfed, or thought that I would switch out because of the HP Ice, but yeah, so I end up killing his Magnezone, and he goes into his Landorus as I switch out and go into my Jellicent, because I thought that Landorus outsped, but now that I think about it, I think Garchomp outspeeds, but then again, I was on the Earthquake, so it would make sense that I switch out, but anyway. So I bring in my Heatran as he sets up another layer of spikes, and I pull a double switch into my Garchomp, knowing that he's going to bring out his Chansey, and he does just that, so at least that's one good play for me, being as rusty as I am. Now I predict his Ferrothorn to come back out, so I go for the Fire Fang, but he ends up staying with Chansey, and I was actually pretty upset when this happened, because I could have killed his Chansey with an Earthquake or something, I think at least. I don't know how much Earthquake would have done to Chansey at 40%, I think it was at. So now I switch out into Tyranitar, I was basically just foddering it just because I really don't know, like, Tyranitar wasn't really that useful at this point in the match. So now I go into my Chansey, or not my Chansey, my Garchomp, and I'm just trying to grind it out, and now I'm just, you know, earthquaking away, just hoping that I'll get a crit or something, or he'll slip up and predict me to do some. I don't know. I just really wanted this thing dead, so I'm just spamming earthquakes, and it's just not happening. So I switch out and I go into my Latios as he goes for the protect, and he gets the wish on that turn that I switched out. So I go for the side rock, and he goes for the seismitoss, and that did a lot of damage because Latios doesn't have the greatest of HPs. So I switch out and go to my Jellicent, predicting the seismitoss again, but he does go for the protect. And I think I take this opportunity to recover, I think, as he switches out into his Landorus. No, I go for the Toxic, and I let my Jellicent die. And then, yeah, and then I bring my Heatran, because I have the Balloon, so I know he's not going to be able to OHKO me with Earthquakes. So now he brings out his Chansey, and I go for the Fire Blast, figuring that with the Sandstorm it would be enough to take it out, and I was correct. And he ends up just falling, and I should be able to clean up with Heatran, but I end up missing the Fire Blast on this Ferrothorn, so I have to switch out just because I don't want to take too much leech damage, so I end up just deciding to fodder off Garchomp. I go for the Fire Fang, but with Ferrothorn being as defensive as it is, it's not going to end up taking it out, even with the quad super effectiveness. So I go in my Latios instead of my Heatran because I do have the HP Fire on my Latios, and that will guarantee to hit, and I know that will take it out. So that would be the game. Good game. I don't know how to pronounce this guy's name, but it's right there. You guys can read it. Yeah, I'll try to upload more regularly. Just I'm really not that interested in 5th gen Wi-Fi battling at the moment, so every once in a while I'll do a showdown video, like maybe once a week. Just until X and Y comes out, because that's really what I'm looking forward to. Yeah, so until next time, guys, I'm thenobleflame. I'll see you later.